Hello, everybody, and excuse me, I gotta get my screen right. Welcome to day 3 of the hashtag Mom Bod Workshop. I am so happy you are here and you're sticking it out. Whether today is the 3rd day in a row you've watched or you are just tuning in for today, that's okay. These videos can be standalone. So if you are just joining us, welcome. My name is Julia Jackson and I help moms get healthy body and soul so they can be the mom and human they were meant to be. The last couple days we were talking about some goal setting and affirmation. And I feel like that leads us perfectly well into today's topic, which is how to joyfully find a way to exercise and move your body. So often we punish ourselves by doing workouts that aren't right for us, and it really has a detrimental effect on the way we view exercise, the way we view ourselves and our health in general. So I just want to kind of talk about some ways to make it more fun and to really tune into your body. So much of this is about awareness and listening to who you are and what your body needs, and that really helps inform and guides your choices. So I'm just going to double quick check that we are live in the group, that it's working. It is working. Amen. Technical stuff. You never know how it's going to work. So, like I said, we're building on that foundation of goal setting and having just a good outlook. And what I want to talk about, so today I want to talk about kind of how to do this. I want to share my story. And then I also want to do a little mini bonus training on how to work out according to your cycle. As women, I think we are constantly in our menstrual cycle at some point, whether it's considered normal or not. And sometimes pushing through doesn't always help. So stay tuned for that. That's at the end. It's like a little mini bonus training. So you're going to want to stay on for that. So yeah, give me some emojis. Hey Jordan, hey Danielle, hey girls. If you're on and you can see me and hear me, give me an emoji. Okay, here we go. So often, like I said in the beginning, we set ourselves up for failure by doing either if it's the latest craze of workout or a workout we think is going to be the thing that we're supposed to do. So I just want to talk about how we need to banish the idea of I'm supposed to or I should from your, from your whole life, but especially when you're figuring out your workout and health routine, is just because something works for someone else does not mean that it's right for your body and doesn't mean that you should do it, because seriously, you could shit all over yourselves, right? So just keep that in mind on all of this, is just continuing to listen to your own body, ask for the wisdom that is innately in you, and she will provide it, I promise you. So start from that place of knowing, maybe because you thought, oh, running worked for me once and I lost all this weight, maybe it doesn't work for you post-baby, or maybe you used to work out for an hour and a half at the gym and post-baby that doesn't work either. So it's about finding a new groove, and also not, ooh, this is good too. Also not looking at the past, like looking at your body. I know we talk about like before baby and after baby and what our body is like. And you are just living in the now. You are a new person. This is your life now. And to look back doesn't give you any momentum, clarity, insight, wisdom. It's just not helpful at all. So only look at your body from this point forward and say, what do I need now? Instead of, maybe I used to have all this time and this energy or all this money to go to these fancy gyms or whatever. That's not the case now. Don't get tripped up on that. Just start moving forward. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story when it came to finding a workout that worked for me, and it became especially clear after I had my baby. So I had always been someone who, I think you know my story a little bit. I was always a yo-yo dieter. I was always chasing the latest thing so that I could be the skinniest, so that I could be a size 2 or whatever. And oh, good, Michaela. Hi, sweet baby. Isn't it so funny how attached to TVs they are, just even that young? Like, put on Trolls and we're good. So I had always been someone who was following the latest trend, and I was always doing, I thought I should be doing really hard workouts. Like the only way for me to be fit and healthy and strong, or skinny at that point, I was thinking skinny because it was an unhealthy way I was viewing my body, was to do like really, really intense exercise like HIIT training, which if you don't know is high intensity interval training. And I thought that's the only way, like if I don't leave a workout just like drenched and like leave everything on the floor, I've failed. Like that doesn't count as a workout. So I always had in my mindset that like I had to just work out really, really, really hard in order for it to be enough calorie burn that it would make me like feel like I was sweaty enough. And even before I had my baby and during pregnancy, I had always like said to myself, like, I really hate doing those like really high jump, like anything jumping. It hurt my boobs. I didn't like the way I felt. Like it just made me feel like I don't know, just like heavier than I was. And for the longest time, I thought that that meant I wasn't fit enough, or that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't strong enough, and that I just had to keep pushing through and doing those strenuous, really hard workouts that I hated, that I dreaded, and just because I was supposed to. Now, I will say some people, that's me. Some people love that kind of workout, and it actually is what's helpful. And that's what I want you to continue, is even listening to my story, and as we move forward in all of this and beyond, like today and beyond, is to continuously find what's right for you. So you might be someone who that is your joy. When you do a really high intensity workout and you're jumping all over it and you feel so good and you're sweating and you leave it all on the floor, like that actually fills you up and makes you feel great. So there's no right or wrong here. But for me, I just want to walk you through my journey. As I was like, it wasn't serving me. I was really, really unhappy with my workouts. And so I found that even for me, in those same types of workouts, I could modify, and I still loved the workout, or I loved the trainer or the class I was taking, but I didn't have to do all the jumping. So even within those crazy workouts, I was able to modify. And then I started giving myself a little more grace and space to choose workouts that I actually really loved. So I found that my body reacted really well to like yoga or Pilates, or a workout video I love, PiYo. Like it just made me feel really like flexible and strong. It still gave me a good workout, but it wasn't that like crazy cardio. And it took a while to sort of reframe my thoughts and say, like, just because I'm not like a sweaty, dripping mess doesn't mean I didn't have a great workout and that it wasn't really good for my body. So that's how I kind of transitioned. And now I just really listen to my body, and I still follow programs, and I still, like try to have some sort of regimen so that I'm not just winging it every day. But I'm really, like today, we're talking about our menstrual cycle. So I'm on my period. And today I was supposed to do this really high intensity 45-minute cardio workout. And I was like, I'm doing yoga instead. So I just want to give you the freedom and the flexibility to really listen, not use it as like a pass. Like I didn't want to be lazy. I wanted to move my body, but today is what I needed was yoga, and it felt really good and it wasn't crazy. So, give me an emoji if you guys are still there. I think I just never know with technology. Okay. So that's a little bit about my story, is just don't pigeonhole yourself into a certain workout. And then I want to talk about a little bit about the homework. I know a lot of you guys are answering saying, I love being outside, or I love taking a dance class, or I love being in my basement because I don't have to wear pants. Whatever that is just continuing to write down that list and then doing only those exercises, because I want to talk to you about the joy factor. So there was this study, and I'm so sorry, I don't have all the facts and figures. I can't remember where I read it, but I want to tell you about the study that was done that compared walking for pleasure versus walking as a workout. So they had these women walk, like maybe it was a holiday with their family or they're with the kids, and they told them specifically, just go on a pleasure walk. Like just go to the park, hang out, do whatever you want. And then they told another group of women to go on a walk for a workout. And what was so funny is all of the women walked the same amount of time, didn't necessarily have a slower or faster pace, like anything crazy like that. And the women that were told to walk for pleasure, burned more calories. And I think that sums up everything about working out in a way that's joyful. Like, not only is it fun and life is too short to do something you dread, I think, but it's actually a booster for your metabolism, makes you feel better and burns more calories, which is what we all want to do, is just be a little more healthy. So if you're going to walk for the same amount of time, it's that mindset that you have while you're doing whatever exercise. So like for me, when I was doing those really high intensity workouts that I hated, I was going in, like I was pushing play with that mindset, being like, whoa, I hate this. And so of course the energy in my body was going to read like that, and it wasn't going to be as productive, versus like when I push play on a PiYo workout, like I'm like, yes, I love the music. I love the way I feel. Like it makes me feel sexy, and I can get some stretching in there, but I also get a good workout. I get muscle tone. So it's really like the way you approach it is so important, and then also choose the things you love. And then there are times when maybe you do, like you're doing a program or you're doing something that like you want to see the results from doing a certain kind of workout. And so that's when I would say take a step back before you start and get in the right headspace, so that as you're doing the workout, no matter what it is, you can have a joyful approach. So that's one thing that is really cool, is to just follow the joy, follow the fun. Life is too short to continue doing stuff you hate that makes you feel miserable, that you dread, or then because you're not doing it, you feel guilty about it. It's like this awful, awful cycle. So, and I do want you to know, like, if you hate working out in general, it is not the whole key to health. Like, moving your body is great. If you hate working out, just go on a couple walks a week. Nutrition makes up 80% of your results. So it doesn't, exercise sometimes becomes this focus, like, oh, you're only healthy if you work out 7 days a week. It doesn't have to be like that. And focusing on your hydration, your nutrition, and your overall well-being, not only exercise and food, takes a bigger toll on your body anyway, so you're going to see more benefits that way by not doing something you hate. Okay, so that wraps up that. Let me know if there's any questions you have. I forgot to ask for questions before. I'm so sorry, but if, as you're thinking through this, any aha moments or any questions you want to ask me, just pop them in the comments and I will answer them at the end. So the little mini bonus training on doing your workouts through your cycle. So Danielle says, working out is my favorite part. Nutrition seems harder. Well, then do that. If that's your jam, like, it doesn't, it can be what you need it to be. So here's the thing too, and I know Danielle, is that when you work out, you feel better and it informs your food choices, right? Like it's this cycle. So if that's the thing, like, I love working out, I'm going to commit to doing it however many days you want to do it. And because of that, it sets your day up for better. It doesn't have to be perfect, but better eating, then I think that's a win. So, okay, so the cycle training, and I wanted to let you guys know, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think it's important that you at least get an overview of it. If you decide to join the Big Mom Bod program, which I'm going to announce on Friday, there's a whole in-depth video on this where we break down even what kind of foods and what kind of workouts are specifically good per week. But let me just give you an overview, which is, you have 4 sort of segments of your cycle. The first one being when you're menstruating. So when you're bleeding, that's cycle 1. And it cycles through until, like, your hormones kind of go up, spike, you're ovulating, and then they go back down when you're menstruating again. And basically, what I love about learning about the cycle of a woman is that no matter if it's, you have a perfect 28-day cycle or you're 2 months or whatever, there are ways to track it so that you know what cycle you're in. And it gives me so much peace and freedom in my workouts. Like today, I knew, okay, I'm on my period. So this is not a time for me to push through a workout. Like, this is a time of rest and rejuvenation. And so it lets you know, I don't want to say it gives you an out a little bit, because if I needed to just nap today as my workout, that'd be okay. But it lets you know that there's a natural cycle to your body that also you need to be looking out for your food and your fitness. Instead of just plowing through, like, I have this plan and I have to do these things every single day, there's a reason why sometimes you have lower energy and why sometimes you're emotional and tired. And then on the flip side of that, there are times, because of the way you're tracking your cycle, you have way more energy, you can get more done, you're more focused, and those are the times to hit your workouts a little harder or do something that's in line with that when you have energy to burn off. So how do you track? So Jordan says, how do you track if I don't have a bleeding cycle anymore? I actually don't know. Since I'm not a doctor, I wouldn't know. I will recommend an app, and maybe, Jordan, this would have some information in there on, because you still do cycle. You're right. Like, it's just figuring out, where am I in my cycle? And it could even be when you learn more about it, and I have an app recommendation for you. When you learn more about it, maybe within each one, you can just read and sort of tune in, like, oh, I think I'm in, ovulation phase, or I'm in my follicular phase, by just figuring out how you feel based on, like, technically where you are. Does that make sense? So yeah, I think there's a way to figure that out if you kind of tune in. So each phase is different. And so it really helps you figure out, okay, I should be taking it a little easy, or there's some time to really, like, go crazy and work out really well. So that helps you just realize that you don't always have to force it. And when, you're the only one who knows if you're making an excuse or not. So I don't want to say, like, oh, if you're tired, don't do a workout. If you're being lazy, or if you're just really, like, trying to avoid it, that's different. But truly, when your energy is lower and when you're at this part of the cycle, it's not as good to push through as some other times when you have more energy. And it's really cool to learn about. There's types of food that really aids in each part of the cycle. There's ways, like I track it so that I can know when I work better. Like there are times when you're more organized or when your brain is scattered or when you need to rest. And I just think of it like seasons of a year, right? Like there are times for harvest, there are times for rest, and that is how our bodies are on a month to month basis, that like we're not expecting to cultivate all the time. And that's what our society tells us to do, is always be in go mode. And there are just these beautiful, like built-in ebbs and flows of life that is the seasons that are also tracked by your cycle, that are also part of the moon if you do like any moon following. So that's kind of cool to just understand that there's more at play than just you maybe not wanting to work out or feeling like, oh, I have a ton of energy. So yeah, that's just a little mini course on tracking your cycles. And like I said, in our big program, we're going to have a much more in-depth how-to on how to, I'm going to even give suggestions of different kinds of workouts based on where you are in your cycle. So if you have any other questions, pop them in the comment below and I will keep checking those today. If you are brand new and this is your first day watching the Mom Bod workshop, I'm so glad you're here. If you want to join and get the emails starting tomorrow, you're welcome to do that. It doesn't matter where you pick up or if you missed a day or whatever. But I do recommend going back if you have the time and you want to sit down and really dig deep. I know the videos, there are nuggets and some pieces of wisdom that these women in our group are having really big aha moments and really kind of like turning over a new leaf in the way that they're approaching their health. So I would love to have you join. The link to that, if you haven't joined, if you're not getting my emails, is bit.ly/5-day Mom Bod Challenge. And I'll go ahead and pop that in the comments if you want to get the emails. So I'm reading one last question. Emotional, am I supposed to be on? Yeah, Crystal, great advice is like when you can start really honing in and listening to your body, you'll kind of figure out what cycle you're on. So, okay, you guys have a great day. If you have a friend who needs to watch this, tag them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Any insights, wisdom, aha moments, or anything else you have questions for me about. All right, have a great day, guys.